Oh man, these days. What's up, everybody? I'm finally up and running. It's almost 7 o'clock here in the East Coast, and Cover Price really did a number on me. They decided to upload their top 10 list at 6 o'clock, and I'm running to get these figures in, and that's why I was running late today. I might consider having to change the date of the show to a much later time frames in order to get that list and get it to you guys. Look, I haven't even had a chance to fix my lighting there, so let's see. We can fix it over here. Okay, make it a little darker there. And let's see if I can fix the lighting over here so I wouldn't be so bright, right? You know what I'm saying, guys? But what's going on, everybody? Let's shrink this down. That's a little better. I like it that way better. Okay, let's go ahead and say what's up to the guys in the chat. Starting with Las Cruces, kicked it off with a woohoo! And what up, Rat Pack? Joseph, the adventurous Joe. What's going on, my man? Also from New Mexico, Kevin, Random Ripped. How you doing, my man? JSS Brooklyn. What's going on? Dr. Von Who is in the house. Whoo. What's going on there? Let's see here. Yep. Maybe. And yes, maybe I was looking for a parking space, but not today. It wasn't the case today. It had everything to do with the fact that Cover Price took forever to get the numbers in. You can go into our website now; it's in there. But I have to grab those numbers as fast as I can to do the work. So, what's going on? Eli is in the house. Joffrey Castro is also in the house. Maybe Josh is looking for his hashtag. What's up, AR aggressively relaxing? What up, my dude? What up, everyone? Please wish my bro. It's not my birthday. Whose birthday is it? Is your brother Jason, right? Is it Jason's birthday? Happy birthday, Jason. And let's check it. Going to be 47 on December 15th. Already wishing I was younger. You're a day younger. You're a day younger than my sister's birthday, which is the 16th. But not by a couple of years. But who knows? And Canadian Survivalist is also in the house. Happy birthday to his. Yeah, happy birthday! It's his birthday, man. Guys, there's so much to talk about, so much to get on with the show. Like I said, I'm running late, so let's get this show starting. We got a lot of things. I got some promos to talk about, and we're about to go live. Well, we are going live. What am I saying? We're about to go live. Let's go ahead and find out what are the top trending comic books this week. I just tabulated the list, so if you see some errors, my bad. But we're going to go find out what's going on with this list. And before I do that, Kenneth Burr, I'm here for you, bro. Nice seeing you. All right. And let's get this list going with the Comic Heat Index. As you already know, the Comic Heat Index is where I take all the sites and pile them all together. It takes me a while to do this, as you can see. That's why I was running late. But I do have a top trending comics for this week. You're not going to be surprised, but at the same time, this is an amazing week of comic books. And there's one specific run that is taking the world by storm, and we're going to be looking at that momentarily. But let's get started with the top trending list. As you know, I consolidated this list from different platforms to make a combined top 10 list. It ranks based off market performance, popularity, and obviously hype. So therefore, if there's a high hype level, that book actually gains momentum. Also, sales performance has a lot to do with it. So if there's a lot of sales going on for that book, that actually increases the scaling. So a lot of these companies, well, CBSI, Key collector and cover price are the tools I use for it. As you can see there, key collector comics is trending list based on the collector's interest, CBSI weekly analysis based off of sales trend, and then cover price for fair market value and sales data. But I get all this list from them. And let's take a look at what came up as the top 10 books based off of a consolidated list. So let's start it off with number one. Well, not number one. Why is it number one? Let's start it off with number 10, and that is West Coast Avengers number 1. I told you there was going to be errors. You see it right there? It's not the noir edition. It's the surprise variant. I'll fix that in post. West Coast Avengers number 1. This is a surprise variant that came out about 2 weeks ago. No, about a week ago now. This current last recorded sale of this book was about $4. I want to make sure it's correct because, again, I want to give you guys the right information. This is what happens when the information comes in last minute and I have to scramble to get it. So I'm going to make sure I get the right numbers for you guys so you'll know. But this book did come in at 10th place based off the information. Not so much what you see on the screen, but what I gathered here and from cover price and all that information. Let's see here. I'm going to grab the total numbers for you now. Okay, there it is. Okay. Now, this book has seen some increase in sales, of course. The fair market value of this book is about $20. It came in number 10 in Key Collector. It came in number 3 in CBSI. It's not in the cover price top 10. Sales volume of this book is about 126%. That means there was 126% increase in sales over the previous week. I'm going to say the hype level of this book is at a medium because I don't think this book has that much demand behind it. It's a book that it came out just because it's a surprise variant. It was a retailer exclusive. Oh yes, it's $14, not $4. That's the error that I have there. It is a book that doesn't really have that much hype behind it. It's West Coast Avenger is cool, and the title in itself is pretty cool because you have Ultron as part of the team. This character, Blue Bolt, I don't see him being a major character. I don't see him being a character people are going to go crazy hunting for unless he shows up in like an MCU project or something like that. I don't see much of a future for this character. B-list, C-list, maybe even D-list character in my view. Who knows about that? But yeah. It's better than a Frank Miller cover. We will eventually get to a Frank Miller discussion momentarily, but I I don't disagree with you, my man. All right. Next up in our list is Venom War number 5. This book is at a $15 near mint value. That's the last recorded sales, and the book is roughly around $9. There already are 9.8 sales for this book at $57. Trending list, it's not on the Key Collector. However, it is on number 8 on CBSI and number 2 in cover price. This book has a sales volume about 60%. Venom, this all new Venom has a lot of people talking. I don't think the hype level is at an all-time high just yet. I think it's starting to climb up there. So if we see this book next week or any Venom books as part of it, I do believe the hype level will continue to rise. This book right now, everybody's wondering who is this new Venom? We have not been revealed who it is, and maybe sometime this week we'll find out the answer. But as of right now, we do not know the answer of who this Venom is. And anybody received any advanced copies of the new book that comes out, then we'll find out from there through spoilers. But as of right now, there is some hype for this all new Venom. Who it is, who it may be, Also, we have a new Carnage, which is actually Eddie Brock. And there's a lot of stuff going on. So be on the lookout for this book. Check this book out. If you see it at a low price, yeah, why not? It's a nice cover. I do like this cover a lot. Number 8, talking about popular books. Absolute Batman #1, the third printing, 1 in 25. This is a panel within the comic book. So this is a Nick Dragotta cover, but it's a panel within the book in the 1 in 25. This book last recorded sale was $35. It's a fair market value about $41, and it actually has a 9.8 for $96. At the moment, it's not in key collector. It probably will be at the end of the week. CBSI has it at number 5. Cover Price has it number 8. The sales volume of this book, this one, the third printing, is at 48%. The hype level of Absolute Batman is at an all-time high. There's only one book I could think of that has a higher hype value than Absolute Batman. We're going to get to it momentarily. But Absolute Batman #1, the third printing, the 1 in 25. It's fine. It's not great to me. It's just a panel within the book. I do like the other covers a little bit more. I think it's cute, but I don't know. I don't know the future of this book in particular. Talking about Venom. Venom 39, the Foreshadow variant. This is the first cover appearance of the all-new Venom, who we don't know. We still don't know to this moment. It's $18 last recorded sale. Fair market value is at $16 with a 9.8 going for about $81. So people are already selling this book at 9.8. It is number 2 in the Key Collector app. It is not in CBSI, but it's number 4 in Cover Price. Sales volume of this book is at 118%. And just like before, the hype level is at a medium. By next week, this hype level will go up to a high if this book is still in, if people are digging it. If all new Venom comes out and people like it, I guarantee you this one and Venom more are going to go up in value, and people are going to be hunting it, and the hype level will be at a high. Now, I mentioned how high Absolute Batman is. Mark Spears' Monsters is an anomaly, to say the least. It is a series that, for some reason or another, you guys tell me in the chat, you guys let me know, why is Mark Spears' Monsters so high? Everybody's grabbing it. Everybody's going crazy over these books. This is not the first appearance of these titles. We will see this again. This won't be the only time we see a Mark Spears Monsters book. This is the second printing, the Trick or Treat variant, but this is the era version. This is the one where it has like a mole in her shoulder. $30 was the last recorded sale for this book, and it has a fair market value of $36. There's no slabs as of right now, but there will be pretty soon. Trending list, it's number 3 in Key Collector. It's number 6 in CBSI. It did not make the top 10 in Cover Price. However, the sales volume of this one book is at a 330%. And yes, it is at an all-time high. It is... The demand on Mark Spears Monsters is insane at the moment. So take it with a grain of salt. I think personally, I think it will die down eventually. But as of right now, these are probably the hottest books in the market at the moment. Got to say hi to Phil. What's going on, Phil? And Farid, how you doing, my man? Okay, let's go to number 5. And there we have it again. Another Mark Spears Monsters. Mark Spears Monsters number 2. This is the 1 in 25 Batman homage. This one last recorded sale was at $88. This has a fair market value of $91 near mint. So someone got it for a little less than the fair market value. It's currently not on Key Collector, nor is it on Cover Price. It made number 9 on CBSI. Just like the other books, it has a high sales volume of 280% with a hype of a high. This cover is one of the most popular covers because it is a Batman homage cover. Yeah, it's insane. It's insanity to me. I can't. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. These Mark Spears monster books, they're treading all over the place. This one in particular, people love it because of the Batman homage with Dracula. It's a cool cover. I enjoy it. I have to give it time. I got to give it time. Got to also say what's up to Lisa Noble. How you doing, Lisa? What's going on? And let's take a look at number 4 on our list. Yes, it's Mark Spears Monsters number 2. However, this is the all-new ASM 601 homage variant that came out. I believe it came out through Ultimate Comics, if I'm not mistaken. This book is at $60 near mint. That was the last recorded sale with a $52 near mint fair market value. It's not on Key Collector, nor is it on CBSI, but it made it to number 1 on Cover Price, and it has a sales volume of 142%. The hype, as I told you before, is high. And with a Mary Jane homage like this one, I know it's big. It's one of those books. Keen Spot has been killing it with these books. Mark Spears is making a killing with all these titles, with all these covers, and the momentum just hasn't stopped since. Once issue 3 comes out, I'm sure they're going to be on the top 10 list again. And congratulations, Lisa. You have a copy. Great. Let's take a look at number 3 in our list. It's Mark Spears Monsters. Well, are you surprised? $7 near mint. This is the cover A. It has a fair market value about $12. So if you want to get a cheap version of this book, this is the one you want to go after. There is no slabs currently recorded for it. It did make CBSI's number 2 and Cover Price number 9. It's not on Key Collector. However, the other books are. Now, what made this book number 3 is that sales volume of 960%. That's a lot of books, guys. And it's not even the most that we have on this list. The hype level here is at a high. This cover is a great cover. I love the rain. I love the statue in the background. It's a cool cover. It's a great homage. I believe it's another homage as well. But the momentum from Mark Spears Monsters has not died. It will not die. It might take a while before it actually finally cools off. But as of right now, Mark Spears is on top of the world. Let's go with number 2. And that's another one of these books that just doesn't want to go away. And that's Absolute Batman number 1. $25 near mint value was the last recorded sale. However, this book is now trending at $68. 9.8s are now going for about $108. It's currently on CBSI's number 4 and Cover Price number 3. Sales volume for this book is at 1,182%, with a hype level of high, of course, because Absolute Batman next to Mark Spears is probably the 2 highest ranking books of this year. If I'm going to put a top 10 list for the full year, you're damn right you're going to see Absolute Batman and you're going to see Mark Spears. I'm waiting to see if Mark Spears pulls up an Absolute Batman homage. I'm almost certain it's going to happen. This book, looking forward to issue 3 that's coming out very shortly. Number 2. So what could possibly be the number 1 book for this week? And you guessed it. It's Mark Spears number 1. It is Bridezilla variant. This is the one that started it all. All right. This book is now, last recorded sale of this book was $213, and it has a fair market value of $167. However, it is the 9.8 that is currently ranking at $430. That's the average price, the fair market value for 9.8 for this cover. On the trending list, it's number 3 on Key Collector, number 1 on CBSI, and it's number 6 in cover price. The sales volume's at 188% with a high hype level. Again, like I mentioned before, Mark Spears Monsters just are not, it's not dying, it is at an all-time high. This book is selling, yeah, the price for sales. Yeah, exactly. The sales are insane for this book. It's crazy, Lisa. Those are your books. Let me know what you think. You know, what are your thoughts of the ranking system? Share your thoughts in the comments. And stay tuned for next week's ranking. So there you have it, guys. And that was the top trending list. Thank you for your patience. I have to admit, it was a challenging list. I have to go back and take a look at it before I repost the video. But I'm happy to share with you guys a lot of things that have been going on lately. More importantly, we're going to be doing our next item soon, which let me remove that from the list here, and I'm going to add something else for you guys. But let's go ahead and take this opportunity now to talk a little bit about what's coming up. And I'm so happy to make the announcement that Comic Book Fights will be returning. I'm super stoked. Let's get the reel ready for Comic Book Fights so you guys could get equally excited with me. If I could find the reel, where is the reel? There we go. Let's find the reel for Comic Book Fights.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. For the thousands and the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready to rumble! Avengers! Assemble!
And December 11th is going to be the return of Comic Book Fights. And it's going to be a big one, guys. I was able to get a major fight for you to kick off the return of Comic Book Fights. And you're there. I'm telling you, Gem Mint Collectibles versus DJ Links. This is the Comic Book Hip Hop Challenge match that we're going to have. I'm super psyched about it. I talked to Gem Mint. I talked to DJ Links actually a couple of months ago about it. When I took my hiatus, I let them know that we were going to do it sometime in December. They were both stoked. They were both happy, and I'm looking forward to it. This is happening next week, so make sure you put it on your calendar, man, because this comic book fight is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see this fight. And let's not forget the sponsor for Comic Book Fights. I gotta give a shout out to the Comic Shell. You get 10% off with the promo code Izzyverse. So go check out Comic Shell. I do believe they might still have some Black Friday sales where you can buy one get one half. The promo code will not be part of that. So go ahead and support your small business owner. Yep. That's right. It's gonna be a great matchup. It's definitely gonna be a great matchup. I'm super psyched about that one. I can't wait to see that fight. It's gonna be good, guys. It's definitely gonna be good. So let me fix this up. Okay, see, like I said, I'm all messed up. I'm all screwed up, guys. So there you go, Las Cruz. It's a great fight. Now, this is the next thing I want to bring up to you guys because I do have another great sponsor for us, for you guys. I was able to obtain something, and they're going to be sponsoring the 30, 60, 90 show. So when I do 30, 60, 90, it's going to be presented by this group. That's right. Cover price is now an affiliate with Izzyverse. I'm super happy about that. And if you sign up for new members, you get $1.99 to unlock 30 days of premium membership. All you have to use the promo code Izzyverse and coverprice.com. It's a source I use practically every day when I'm looking up for my comics and I'm trying to get my information for it. So cover price $1.99 for 6 months, $6.99 a month thereafter. Unlock 30 days of premium membership. Okay, guys, it is now time to go over 30, 60, 90 presented by Cover Price. So here we go. $30, $60, $90. This is the part of the show where I look at books that were number one 30 days ago, 60 days ago, and 90 days ago. The books you're about to see here were all number one. They were the top book of its time. Some books you're familiar with, some books you may not be as familiar with. We'll talk a little bit more about each one of them. We're going to start with the first book on this list that was number one just a month ago, and that is Absolute Batman number one. This book was number one back in November 4th of 2024. That was week 1 of November. The top sales of the book was at $133 at 9.8 at the time of its what its status. I'm just sharing that. During its time, it had a weekly unit sale of $114 sales, and it had a growth of 5%. Now, it was also tracking the previous month, so that's why the numbers are a little different. The raw was at $24 near mint, while slabs were going for about $110. So the top weekly sale was $133 at a 9.8. However, the average was $110. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Cover Price, and we're going to take a look at where it stands today. This book is still hot, only a month later, so it hasn't been that long. It's still hot today, and we're going to take a look at it through Cover Price. So with that said, let's go into Cover Price and take a look at this. All right, so we have Cover Price information here for Absolute Batman number one. If you see here, the last recorded sales for this book was at $27, and that was at a raw copy. It was a near mint raw copy. The most common raw still goes for about $68, so you can see that the price is going down for this book. However, a 9.8, the most common slab, is at $108. As you know, there's plenty of variants for this book. We're not going to go and talk a little bit about those variants. Instead, what we're going to look at is what is its top performing metrics. So its highest known value was sold back in November 24th, so not that long ago, at $140, and it has a total recorded sales of 1,204 sales. Now, I spoke to the guys at Cover Price about this current trend, which is 18.17%. They're actually talking about changing those metrics a little bit, so we're not going to really focus on those metrics. Instead, what we're going to take a look at really is how this book has really changed. As you could see, the book is still on a level playing field. It hasn't dropped. It hasn't really gone much higher. The raws are actually dipping a little bit because the supply and demand are being met because this is the highest selling book of the year. So let's take a look first at the sales data when it comes to the raw books. When it comes to the raw books, the most popular one is Near Mint. This is a new book, so of course Near Mint is going to be the highest ranking. However, Near Mint Plus there's some companies that will say that their book is Near Mint Plus. That doesn't really reflect much. It's the same as what could potentially be a 9.8 candidate, a 9.9 candidate, or a 10. They can't really give you that it's a 10 because they have to grade it for that. But what we could see here is that this book continues to sell and sell out. The metrics here said $32, $29, $29. So we're seeing that average about that 30 that 25 to $30 average for near mint. Yes, there have been sales as well. There was a reported $130 for a raw. I think someone way overpaid for that book. Um, yeah, that happened. That actually happened today. Wow, that's a bad sell. Mhm. But if people want it, they're even selling very fine copies as well of this book, and they're going for about $14. If you look at the slabs, there's not that many slabs right now, but they're starting to come in. Um, there's 22 slabs, so it's actually performing a lot better than I expected. And these slabs are all 9.8 slabs, and they're going for 115. I see $100. I see $191. So we're talking about $90 to $120 in average for the slabs for Absolute Batman. Unbelievable, to say the least. Yeah. Absolute Batman is super hot right now. There's no stopping Absolute Batman. Okay. Our next book up is The Beauty. Some of you might be familiar with The Beauty. Some of you might not be familiar with The Beauty. But The Beauty was a book that came out a while back in 2015. If you ever seen the movie The Substance, it's very similar in concept. And while I gather this information up in cover price, I'll give you the lowdown of the book. It came out in 2015 for Image Comics. This book was #1 back in October 7th. The top weekly sale of that time was $115. Sold about 35 units, which had a growth of 164%. The raw most common was $8 at a very fine. And a slab was going for about $82 for a 9.8. So this book was, the story was picked up. It's been optioned for a TV series, I believe. That's all I know. I think I might be mistaken from the next book. Yeah, the next one. It's a very interesting concept. I'll just go ahead and read the synopsis. It says, a pilot season, winter returns. Modern society is obsessed with outward beauty. What if there was a way to guarantee you could become more and more beautiful every day? What if it was a sexually transmitted disease? In the world of the beauty, physical perfection is obtainable. The vast majority of the population has taken advantage of it, but detectives Foster and Vaughn will soon discover it comes at a terrible price. And yeah, it's one of those movies, right? I could just see it now. All right, let's take a look at how it looks, how it looks as of today in cover price. So let's go ahead and change that screen. So there it is. We're going to be looking at cover A. The last recorded sale of this book was at $15. It was no grade. It was a raw. The book is tracking about $35 average, and the slabs are actually $97. So we're having a dip in this book. This book has dipped a bit in the 60-day period. So it's trending downward. If we look at the sales, the last high known sale was back in September 30th at $115. There's been a recorded 129 sales total of this book. From that, you had 124 raws and just 5 slabs were sold. If we look at the sales data of this book, I don't believe it's been selling. The last sale was that no grade, but if you could see the near mints, the last sale was back in October, and the very fine, the last sales were back in September. You can see it from this information. As far as the slab goes, the last slab was back in that September time period. So we go and see the sales data. You're going to see that this book has not performed. So that means this book is going to trickle downward. We haven't had sales since October for this book, and the only real sales were going on in that no grade portion for these books because people still are curious. So if you're interested in picking up this book and then the potential of the option is there, then pick it up. There were slabs sold. Look at this. Back in July, a slab was sold for $27. A few years ago, it was at $24. So this book is up and down, up and down, up and down. But the last recorded high sale was $115. That was in September. So is the beauty still on track? I think the popularity of this book has dipped. Like most option news, this is one of those books that within time, once we have information on who's going to be in this show or this movie, then we will know if this book will eventually get picked up as option, and then the price of this book will go up, or it won't move at all, and it's just going to go trending downward. So there you have the beauty. Our next book in the list is a book it's actually a really popular book. I heard DJ Lynx was reading it and he absolutely loved this book. So it is 4 Kids Walk into a Bank. Now, what is this book about? This is actually a really cool concept. The concept of this book is, let's see here, I'm trying to get the book that we're looking for. The concept of this story is a bank robber. He's quitting the business, and he had one final score. However, his kid doesn't want to do it, so his kid decides that she's going to do it. So let's see. A funnish crime caper about children. 11-year-old Paige and her weirdo friends have a problem. A gang of ex-cons needs her dad's help on a heist. The problem is those ex-cons are morons. If Paige wants to keep her dad out of trouble, she's going to have to pull off the heist herself, like Wes Anderson remaking Reservoir Dogs. And that's what this book is about. Now, this book has gained traction because it has been optioned, and Liam Neeson has been attached to be part of this particular film. This book came out back in 2016 for Black Mass Studio. And when it was number 1, it was in September 1st of 2024. So this is the 90 book. It had a top weekly sale of $93 at a CGC 9.8. And it sold about 38 units. So it wasn't a big time seller. The growth of this book was at 183%. The raw was most common at $18, while the slabs most common was at $85 at a 9.8. Let's take a look to see how this book has trended. Okay. So as of right now, I see this book. You see it's about $15. That was the last recorded sale back in November 29th. So it was just a couple of days ago. The book is tracking at $19 at a raw, and a slab is going for about $90. So that means this book has dipped. This book is not as popular as it once was. However, the concept is a good concept, and I could see this book eventually getting picked up. There's several variants to this book, and we could see that there was a recorded 404 recorded sales. The height of this book was back in September 3rd at $200, so it's dipped tremendously from that time. If you look at the raw comic sales, you could see from the sales data that $19 is the average for a near mint value, while $90 is the average. And you could see that the last recorded sales here were done back in September for a near mint plus. Back in November, this is the one that we were talking about, was $19, and it was about $20, $21 was the last sale. So this book is about the $20 price range, so it's quite affordable. A 9.6 sold for $50 back in the 2nd of November, so about a month from today actually. And there was even a dollar sale for a 9.2. Someone got a deal for $1. That's an outlier right there. So what do I think about this book? I think this book is, again, treading downward, just like the beauty is. However, I believe the concept of this book is a fun concept. It's definitely a book worth reading from Black Mass Studios. Pick up a trade. I do believe there are trades available. Go check it out. Yeah, exactly. So I'm with DVH on that one. Talk about a long shot. Indie spec for movie is silly if you want to get it because it's good. Yeah, I say get it for good because it's a good story. However, if you're picking it up for indie, it's an indie spec. So with all indie titles, it's the same thing. Indie books have high risk, but there's also high reward if it gets picked up. This is if the movie, like I said, Liam Nielsen is involved. Take that with a grain of salt. The concept's good. It sounds like a comedy, action comedy type adventure. It's all depending on who's the cast that they're going to put in it. So I'll pick it up for the read. I would like to read this. I'll probably read this digitally, but why not? Anyway, there you have it, guys. 4 kids walk into a bank. Those are your books. What are your thoughts? All right. What are your thoughts of 30, 60, 90 for this week? Absolute Batman. It's gonna stay hot. It remains hot even to this week. It made it to the top trending. So Absolute Batman is gonna be hot. What do you think about the Beauty and 4 kids walk into a bank? What's your thoughts about those books, those 2 indie titles? Do they have potential to be the next big thing in movies? Only time will tell. I do believe 4 kids walk into a bank is a great story. Haven't read The Beauty. It sounds interesting, but it sounds very similar to The Substance in that way. Check them out. There you have it, guys. That was 30, 60, 90. Okay, time to move on to the next portion of the story. We're going to be doing Creator Spotlight, but before we do that, just want to shout out our friends over at Comic Capsule. Comic Capsule, they do have a red and a blue edition Comic Capsule. They send me one, and for some reason I can't find them. So I just want to give them a shout out. They sent me 2 Comic Capsules. If you want to slab your books without having to send them over to get slabbed, this is the best alternative for them. They're sleek, they're durable. I do have a lot of my books already in Comic Capsules, so go check out Comic Capsule. They're also providing now UV covers for your book, so you have a front UV protection as well as a back UV protection for your books. It's really good, really durable. It's a nice plastic that's going to protect your comic books so you could put them on display. They're phenomenal. They're great. Like I said, I have them somewhere stored. I would show them to you, but I can't at the moment. And they do have some Black Friday deals going all the way to December 25th, where you could get 25% off statewide. You get different shipping is 100%. 100%. What am I saying? Free shipping above $100. So if you spend over $100, you get free shipping. And those are our folks over at Comic Capsule. Speaking of Comic Capsule, this is Comic Cap Collectibles. What's going on, Rich? What's going on, Brian? LCS as well. Made it. Yep, that's right. We're running a little late today for the show. I had to take care of a couple of things, but shout out to the guys over at Comic Capsule. They were generous enough to send me some of their Comic Capsules, so that made me happy. And let's go off to our next part, which is really going to be fun because I like doing Creators Corner, Creators Spotlight. We're going to be spotlighting a female talent. Over the weekend, I left a poll on who you wanted me to showcase this week at Creator Spotlight. And I'm so happy to share with you who that is. But before we do that, let's roll that reel. By a majority, Jenny Frison was the pick of the week. She is an amazing artist who has a lot of mixed media in her style. There's something very special about the way she does her images. It's art. So we're gonna take the time to take a look at some of Jenny's work. You're gonna be surprised at the value of some of these books. They're really high. There's some that are affordable, but wow, the cost of some of these books are amazing and it's well deserved. So let's do a creator spotlight on Jenny Frison. So she is a renowned illustrator and comic book cover artist, celebrated for her captivated, moving portraits and painterly style. Her work is deeply emotional and character focused, making her a standout talent in the industry. Jenny has created stunning covers for all the major publishers, including Marvel, DC, and various comic groups. For Marvel, she has worked on iconic titles like X-Men, Eternals, and Captain Marvel. At DC, her breathtaking covers for Wonder Woman, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn have become fan favorites. Among her independent work, Jenny's covers for Something is Killing the Children over at Boom Studios and Revival at Image Comics has garnered critical acclaim. Currently, Jenny continues to produce striking covers for DC and Marvel while contributing to hit indie titles such as House of Slaughter, as well as Something's Killing the Children. Her evocative illustration remain a driving force in defining the visual identity of modern comics. And if you want to take a look at some of her work, you could go to jennyfrison.com. Also, Jenny Frison's art at Instagram. Yeah, I personally love that one. That Harley is beautiful. It does remind me of the Big Bang Theory. Kali Cuoco, I believe that's how you say her name. That work definitely reminds me of that. So let's take a look at some of her early work, starting with her first work, and that's Hack and Slash, the series, issue number 4. This book came out back in 2008. Would you believe that long ago? Over at Devil's Due Publishing. This is a fair market value of $240 near mint, while it's also $240 at a 9.2. The last recorded sale was going for $100 back in November. This is actually not that long ago, just about a month ago, for $100 for a no grade. It was just a raw copy. The significance of this book is her first commissioned comic art. So this is her first book in the field, in the industry. Hack and Slash number 14, and for $240. Wow. Someone got a deal at $100. Another book that is really important, which is considered her first cover art, is Voltron, The Legend Forge number 1. This also came out in 2008 for Devil's Due Publishing, and this book has a fair market value of $264 near mint, while a 9.4 fair market value is at $650. However, November 9th, a book was sold at nearly $900 at a 9.6. Wow, that is amazing. This book almost sold for close to $1,000. It was $100 short of $1,000. This is her first cover art, and it's not her first time in Voltron anymore. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other books that she has. Starting with Vampirella, Countdown to the Second Coming number 1. This is the prototype edition. So this is a variant. Came out back in 2009 over at Harris Comics. This is before Vampirella went to Dynamite. Fair market value of this book is at $41. However, a 9.4 goes for $104. The last recorded sale of this book was $41, and this was way back in 2022. It is her first Vampirella cover. Exactly. I agree with you, DVH. I like her art, but that Voltron is an insane price. We did the other guys. We did John Jang. We did Dan Mora. And it's the first time we did, we have another artist like this, and it's the first time I actually see the prices that their demand. So her art is on high demand. So if Chris the Comet Vet was watching right now, he'd be like, "Oh man, how am I going to get a hold of that one?" Anyway, let's take a look at our next book. Spitfire #1. This is extremely affordable, but this is also marks her first Marvel comic back in 2010. This has a fair market value of $6, while a 9.8 goes for about 70. I'm sure you could get it for a lot less. The last recorded sale happened just last week at $6 at a fine, and this is considered her first Marvel comic cover. I'll be honest with you, I love Jenny Frizz's art. I'm not feeling this one for some reason. It doesn't feel right, but it was still early in her career, so I could forgive her for that. It's just something's off about this, especially from what I know she could do. Vampire #1. This was back in the New 52 era, back in 2011 over in DC Comics. This book is very affordable at $3, fine, and $50 at a 9.8. The last recorded sale was $3 back in October. This is considered her first DC cover. And in this particular book, you can start seeing her style start to formulate. So we're starting to see Jenny Frizzum as the Jenny Frizzum we know, which is exciting. So we're starting to see her work form back in the 2010s as we get to now, where we're seeing what she does now, the work she does. Now, one of the most popular books that she has on her list here is Revival #1. This came out in 2012 over at Image Comics. It has a $20 near mint value, with a 9.8 going for $91. This book, last recorded sale was $19 about a week or two ago. However, the significance of this book is that it has been picked up by Sci-Fi as to be an adopted TV series. Only time will tell if that's going to happen. But if it does, this is a book that people will be hunting for. It was on the top 10 list before in the past. It might return once a TV series comes up. All right. Red Sonja #1 back in 2013 over at Dynamite Studios or Dynamite Comics. Fair market value of this book is $8. It is $50 at a 9.6. A good copy, which sold for $45. I think that was not a good buy. In November 3rd. The key significance: this is a Jenny Frizzum first Red Sonja cover. If you know, she does amazing Red Sonja covers. This is the first one. There's also a second black and white print, a second printing in black and white of this cover. Detective Comics 40. This is the 1 in 25 variant. This book came out in 2015 for DC Comics. The fair market value of this book is actually $8 for a 1 in 25 variant. Would you believe that? Last recorded sale of this book happened back in February, and it sold for $6 for a very fine. This is considered to be Jenny's first Batman cover. Spider-Gwen #1, the comic pop. And yes, that is Tom's dad. Frizzum variant. I am not feeling this one as much as I mentioned before with some of her artwork. I don't think this is one of her better pieces. This is, however, her first Spider-Gwen cover. This book is going for a near mint value of $20, while 9.8 goes for about $70. And the last time it sold was way back in 2021 at $20. So you could probably get this a lot less if you find it in the wild. You probably find it on eBay or something like that. It's not one of her better works, I'm sorry to say. I do believe she's done some better pieces when it comes to Spider-Gwen. This one I'm not feeling as much. Now, this one's a popular book. This is Miss Marvel #1. This is the hip-hop variant that she did back in 2015. This book is going for a near mint of $40. However, a 9.4 sold for about $41. So that makes it the fair market value for that book. This book last recorded sale was at $25 back in 2021. And of course, it's the cover art inspired by the miseducation of Laura Hill. This was one of those popular Marvel hip hop covers. This one was done by Jenny Frison. A lot of people don't know about this one. Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica #4. This book came out in 2018 from DC Comics and Archie Comics. The fair market value of this book is $5, $51 at a 9.8, with a last recorded sale of $4 that was done back in the summer of 2024 in August. My apologies. This is Jenny's first Harley and Poison Ivy cover. Now, it's not the same type of Poison Ivy we're familiar with, but it is Poison Ivy. So there you have it, guys. This is the very first time she did Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Now, this one's the big one. Something's Killing Children #1, the FOC Reveal Virgin variant that came out in 2019 over at Boom Studios. The fair market value of this book is $123 near mint, while 9.8 is going for $151. The last recorded sales of this book was $80, and this was just last week. This is her first Erica Slaughter cover, and it's her first Something's Killing the Children cover. This is amazing. However, there are other versions of this same book. We have the Comic Oddities version foil, which goes about $120 near mint, but the 9.8 is going for $320 fair market. Someone picked it up for $350 early November. And there's one more to be on the lookout, and that is the black and white spot color variant. This was limited to 300 copies. Fair market value of this book is $450. However, 9.8 was fair market value is $300. So it's actually cheaper to get a 9.8 than it is to get a raw copy. And it's because of that last recorded sale of $300 that was done in September. I like this cover. And there's also one more, which is the Diamond Retailer New York Comic Con 2019 one. Same thing as before, $450 near mint, while it's $396 at a 9.8. That was the same price that was done in October 31st on Halloween, no less, of this book. I actually like the spot variant a little bit more than this one. However, they're both great. And finally, we're going to go to her latest book. That's Poison Ivy #28. This one's coming out this week. This is the 1 in 50 version variant. And you can see she does tremendous work when it comes to Poison Ivy and her use of colors, as well as using organic flowers and plants to make the design, makes her on the top of her class. Even though this has a fair market value of $4, there's no recorded sales. This is a 1 in 50 variant, so it's really not $4, but that's the price the book is going for as of right now. This is the new book of the week. So there you have it, guys. Tell me what you think about that list. Is Jenny Frison one of your favorite artists? Is she someone to be on the lookout? Do you like her covers? Who is your favorite Jenny Frison character that she's done so far? And who would you like her to do so in the future? Let me know in the comments, guys. It is now time to talk a little bit about what we call fresh picks. And let's take a look at what's new this week in comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to give a shout out to our boys at Superior Stands, who I now have an affiliation with. I'm going to be doing a really cool video for them shortly. I just didn't have enough time to put it here, but I want to give a shout out to Superior Stands. If you scan that QR code, it actually will help me out a little bit. They are great. I have my Superior stands here. I got 2 right here. There's a magnet. It's awesome, man. You can even hang these up. There's little holes so you can hang them up. Go pick up your Superior stands now. They're great. They have different shapes and sizes, colors, all that good stuff. And they support the community. They helped out and during the C3. So give them much love over at Superior Stands. I'm with you. I love Jenny Frizzin-Art. She's a great. We all know Chris Sewell's over. You know what? She's pretty. Jenny Frizzin is a beautiful woman too. You know what I mean? The regular version of. Oh, yeah. I know. Tell me about it. All right, let's go back to what's new this week in comics. We have a great list coming up this week for December 4th. From that, we have 86 new comic books scheduled with 300 variant editions, of course. 24 new number ones and 12 potential keys, 6 first appearances. Now, we take that with a grain of salt because potential first appearances. Did I already discuss Absolute Superman? The answer is no, I have not, and we will be talking about Absolute Superman this week. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at our books and what keys are to look out for. The publisher's breakdown is as follows. Marvel has 17 titles with 62 variants. DC has 16 titles with 63 variants. Interesting. Image has 11 comics with 29 variants. Boom has 3 with 8 variants. IDW has 4 comics with 10 variants. Dark Horse has 6 with 11 variants. Dynamite, the king of the variants themselves, have 4 comics with 53 variants to go with them. Mad Cave Studios has 5 with 7 variants. Indie publishers, all the rest of the indie publishers, have 57 variants from 20 comic books. Excuse me. So let's take a look at the keys to watch. The number 1 key to watch this week is all new Venom. This book could be the introduction of the new Venom. We're gonna see the new Venom in this book. However, do we know who the host is going to be? There are some choices that people are picking up. They're saying Luke Cage or Robbie Robinson. It could be somebody completely new. So we may find out this week. But this book is going to be hot this week. Be on the lookout for that John Jane cover, which is, I believe, is a big time collectible exclusive. It looks insane. However, you might want to pick up cover A, and there'll be some other covers to look out for as well. There you go. Absolute Superman number 3 comes out this week. This is definitely a key to watch. This is the second issue of the Absolute Superman issue. The Lazarus Corporation's toughest peacemakers versus one iron-willed motor mouth woman. I wonder who that could be. So that's what we got for that book. Also be on the lookout for Superman, Absolute Superman Noir Edition is coming out this week as well. We'll talk about that a little later. But that one's happening over at DC Comics. Another book that you might want to look for is Action Comics coming out this week. There's some great covers. This is the first appearance of Concept. We're running out of names. Guys. But that David Nakayama book is beautiful. That is one of the most beautiful David Nakayama covers I've ever seen of Supergirl. There's also a version variant. I believe there's a foil of that book as well. So that's a book to check out. Also, Conquest 2099. This is going to be the first appearance of Ghost Spider 2099. You might be familiar with Ghost Spider as Spider-Gwen, but they're calling her Ghost Spider here. She's going to make her first appearance in Conquest 2099. Batgirl issue number 2 will also have a first appearance of Keldon the Unseen, the leader of the Unbury. That's for Batgirl. And Two-Face is going to have an issue. Two-Face #1 comes out this week. Several covers as well. This is the first appearance of Lake Cantwell, an assistant to Harvey Dent, and the introduction of the White Church, an underworld courthouse. That should be interesting as well. X-Force also has a first appearance with the first appearance of La Diabla. So, who knows, right? While Shazam also has a first appearance, the first appearance of the Successor. Excuse me, guys. Right. Thundercats Apex #1 has a possible new first appearance of a new Thundercat character. So there's a Perello cover that I think is a banger. That is a gorgeous cover. I believe that is a 1 in 25 variant. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Some eye-catching variants include DC Horror. Who doesn't love Crypto? But Crypto with an arm. A zombified Crypto. Or a horrifying Crypto. John Boy Batman. And check out that other Batman cover. Oh, that's so cool. Mentioned the Jenny Frison cover. There was also going to be a version variant of that Jenny Frison. Absolute Superman #2 has multiple covers to be on the lookout. Go check them out as well. The second one here of Absolute Superman is a connecting cover done by, I believe, Dan Panozia. There is an Eric Larson variant of all new Venom, which I love, and then there's also that one there. I believe that's a Clayton Crane. If I'm not mistaken. I might have to correct myself for it. You know what? It makes more sense if I double check. This won't take me too long. It is actually an Ivan Tao. My apologies. Ivan Tao cover of all new Venom, and that's the 616 variant. So there is a trade address, which is limited to 3,000, while this one that you see here is the version variant that is going for 1,000. Also, you have the Chris Caruso cover of all new Venom. I love Chris's artwork. It's so cool. Okay. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1. This is actually cover A, and Avengers Assemble. There is some key significance to that Lucas Wernick cover. It's a Stormbreakers cover of Avengers Assemble #4. That is the first appearance of those characters in the cover. Those are Miss Minute characters. Trying to remember their names, so I'll tell you right now once I have it. I don't have it. But it is the first appearance for those characters. And Marvel's Zombies, Dawn of Decay, they're doing issue #4. They have a Strange Academy homage, but in zombified version. All right. Absolute Superman Noir Edition also comes out today. Look for the foil black and white. I picked up the Wonder Woman. I also picked up the Batman foils. I'm definitely picking up the Absolute Superman foils because these foils are gorgeous. Also, Gunslinger Spawn, issue #38. That's a great one. And new this week, Dread the Halls, #1 over at Image Comics. And those are the new books for this week. Go check them out for yourself. I couldn't do them all. It's a lot of work, but somebody's got to do it. I hope you enjoy that list. They're coming out Wednesday, guys, so be on the lookout for that. I think we've come to the end of the show. Finally, it's 8 o'clock right now over here. Thank you for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. I got a lot of stuff cooking. But again, as I told you guys before, I got a comic book fight on the way. So make sure you put that in your calendars, guys. I'll buy 2 or 3 books this week. The comic book fight, Gem Mint versus DJ Link's happening December 11th. It's going to be a fun time. I can't wait for it. I appreciate all of you. thank you all for this time. Thanks for being patient with me today, especially with all the stuff I had to grab today last minute. Don't forget to tell your friends about the show. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the deal. I will be doing a giveaway soon. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for memberships. So if you're a member, there's a giveaway on the way for you guys. If you're not a member, we're going to be doing something special too, and I'll make sure I'll do something special. But you could be a member. It's not that much to be a member. You can support my channel in any way you can. It's really simple, right? It starts off at 99 cents, guys. You could be a member for 99 cents a month, $1.99, and then there's $4.99. I changed the names because it was before the Rat Pack. But this is the membership programs that I have. I want to give a shout out to all my channel members who have supported me during this time, especially during my hiatus. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to let you guys go. It's time for me to hit the ground. Time for me to say goodbye. So Excelsior. And I didn't put an outro video. I got to do an outro video. I got to tell you guys thank you. So thank you.
I think this is it. I think you're about to go home. Okay. All right. Look, thank you.
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 Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess I'll see you.